I am proud to represent Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, which is in Tucson, and Fort Huachuca in Sierra Vista, both in Arizona's 6th district, my district. Between both installations, thousands of service members can call Southeast Arizona home, and ensuring that they are successful after their service in the country is a huge priority for me. So my questions are going to be in that line here for both them and their spouses. So my first one will be to you, Mr. Burt. The service members leaving the military are required to participate in the Transition Assistance Program, or TAP, which includes a combination of pre-separation counseling and 5 days of classroom, and which is classroom-based instruction. However, the Department of Defense has interpreted the 5-day TAP course differently, and each military branch and military base commander has the authority to waive the optional 2-day class. Do you think that 3 days is enough for a service member to take in all the information needed to prepare for civilian life? I know that we went through a 2-week orientation here, and there was a lot more to cover and a lot of information that is thrown our way in any kind of orientation. I can just imagine the amount of information that our service members would need before hitting civilian life, and 3 days with the option of waiving 2. What do you think about that?
That's a great question, Representative. In my case, 3 days was enough. I was 24 years in the United States Air Force. I had a job before I started terminal leave. But the Marine Corps has chosen that everyone who is a first termer will be a Category 3, will be a Tier 3, because they need more information. The key is we've got to get to 365 days so that I've got a full year to address any of the issues I have for my transition.
So you've found, what is the feedback from the service members saying back? Because what I'm hearing is that it's not enough. Perhaps in your case, it sounds like it was, and that worked out. For a lot of the members that I'm talking to, it just doesn't seem to be enough for what they can recall is not only the days, but is the amount of information. So how do you think Congress can improve TAP to ensure the positive outcomes on the transitioning of service members? I'm hearing here from my colleagues as well, there's always room for improvement. Might have worked for you, it may work for others like you, but it doesn't work for a lot of people out there as well. So what are the opportunities here for growth and improvement?
Sir, what I would tell you is TAP today is better than it was yesterday, and TAP tomorrow will be better than it is today. It's a continuous evolving environment and a learning environment. The 2019 NDAA changed the entire program. Before that, it was just about compliance. Everybody got the same information. There are so many benefits out there for our service members as they transition that it's hard to know all the benefits. So what we've been teaching them is where to go to get the additional information. An advantage of going to a virtual environment is a service member who is now a veteran can still go back and retake.
I'm sorry to interrupt here because I only have a minute and a half left, but I understand that part, but I want to hear from you is what are improvements that you think we can still make? As good as you are describing the program, I'm sure there are ways in areas where you and I could agree that we have to improve, so please cover that.
It's where I need to improve, sir. It's where I need to get all of our commanders to 365 days. It's where I need to get the IT infrastructure in place to support the long-term data.
Thank you for that, and I only have a little over a minute, but Ms. Devlin, if I can address you with a question here quickly around spouses and the testimony you described, the transition employment assistance for military spouses or teams to help military spouses find employment when their spouses leave the military. And based on the information from the Department of Labor, military spouses have higher unemployment rates compared to national averages, and many can only find part-time work. What takeaways does the Department of Labor have from the military spouse employment curriculum, and are there any plans to scale up this program?
Thank you so much for that question. It's very important that we work with military spouses to eliminate their unemployment and eliminate the barriers that they have to continued employment through the multiple deployments with their spouses. So the TEAMS program has been popular, but it's new and it's just, people are just gaining awareness. We also have services for military spouses at our American Job Centers through the American Job Center Network. So what we're learning is that we need to get to them early enough. We need to give them the information and the resources so that they don't have gaps in employment with each change in duty station.
Thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I yield back.